Hello everyone, this is Joanna. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to show you a really fun card, and it is a pop-up card. Look how cool this is. Now these cards, when I make them, I make sure that the front is pretty simple because I want all the attention to be on the inside. And you might think that this is difficult to make, but it really is not. So let me show you. Now I already created the front to my card. And again, I did the background die and I layered it. So you have the little pop, you see the little pop here. And I sprayed it with perfect pearls just to get that little shine. And the greeting, and that's it. So let's get started on the inside. What we're gonna need is 2 pieces of white cardstock that are 4 1/4 by 1 inch. So 4 1/4 by 1 inch. Now we're gonna need 2 white ones and 1 clear one. Now I already attached the tape. When you're gonna fold them, you're gonna score them at 1, 2, 3, and 4, which leaves you this little tab here. Now you're gonna put a tape on this tab and create a cube. There you go. Now make sure that it folds nicely each and every way, just like that. I already created the second one. And now we'll take some tape and we're going to connect them both. Now I like using tape because I feel that it's for any kind of pop-up cards or anything that is moving, anything that has to do with movement on the card. I think it's just a good double-sided tape is just so much stronger. Okay, so we're going to put them together. Let's put them together just like that. And this is our mechanism. You see that? Now I'm going to put tape at the bottom here, at the bottom of the 2 cubes, and I'm going to attach it to the middle of the card. So this seam right here is going to line up, or at least I'm going to try to line up with the middle of the card. So let's see how well I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, there. Oops. Well, I wish I was just a little bit better at that, at removing the tape, because I don't want you guys to just stare at me removing the tape. How boring is that? Okay, so now let's go ahead and line it up. I'm going to somehow try to put it right in the middle. There. Alright, and now you have that movement. Let's make sure that close this opening. Very nice. Now I already have a piece of cardstock that is, what is it? It's like 4 inches by 3, scored at 2, and I am going to attach it to the middle. Okay, you can see here that I have that cardstock right here in the middle. So you see the popping mechanism on it right now. So let me grab some more tape and attach it to the top here, and I will be able to attach my turquoise or Bermuda Bay, if you want to be specific, to that. Now after we're going to attach it, you will see that you may be just satisfied with this one layer. We don't have to go the step further, but you can if you want to. So the best way is fold your cardstock in half, center it like that, and then open it, and there you have it. So now let's close it and open it. Close and open. It's popping out really, really nicely. Now if you're going to be done with it, you don't want to go any further, then you can maybe, before you attach it, you can stamp some greetings on it and write write a little note, and at that point you can just have the greeting popping out instead of like what we're going to do here, going one step further. Okay, but we are going one step further. So I got acetane sheet, also 4 1/4 by 1 inch, the same dimensions, same score lines at 1, 2, 3, and 4. We had that little flap, so I created a little cube. But now I am going to take it and I'm going to cut it in half. So let's cut that in half. So I have 2 of those. Now I'm going to put these 2 together. And like I said, you don't have to go and do this step. You can, you already have created a pop-up card, really. So we're just having fun with it right now. So let's see if we can put them together nicely. There. Okay, so there you go. Very good. Let's make sure that it works both ways. And it does. It's folded this way, folded that way, whichever way. Okay, so now we're going to take that and put that in the middle. Okay, and this is going to be the mechanism that is popping the Celebrate. Sorry about that. As you can tell, I am fighting a little cold, and I was just fine with it, but now I was fine not coughing, but now I feel that after I'm doing some talking, I get a scratchy throat. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to center it, put it right there in the middle. So when you look at it, this is what we have. This is clear and this is white. And actually, you don't have to have this in clear. You can have it in turquoise. Now, what I did here is I grabbed a little sliver of white cardstock and I attached the Celebrate to it. And actually, the sliver is 4 1/2 by 1/2 inch, and I bent it in half. Okay, so it's 4 1/2 inch and by 1/2 inch, and then I attached Celebrate to it, just like this here. So I have the Celebrate, I have the piece of cardstock. Now the reason why I do that with the cardstock is because really it gives me place to attach my moving mechanism and also hide the different balloons. Now I'm going to do something a little bit more fun. I have a little bit of space, so I'm just gonna cut a tiny banner at the end. I overcut it a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, and now I am ready to attach my greeting. And again, what I'm going to do is I will put the tape down. And peel it off. Make sure it's nice and sticky and gooey right there. And I'm going to take my bend, line up the bend with the bend on the white cardstock, unfold it, and boom. Okay, let's see if it works. It works. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look how neat this is. You see that? Look at that. This is so cool. So now it's time to decorate it with balloons. And I use alcohol ink and vellum, but you can use whatever you please. I kind of like the vellum feel to it. You know, it's kind of see-through here. Look at that. You can kind of see the other balloon behind it and so on and so forth. So what I do is I grabbed some of the alcohol inks that I had here. And it's very simple. You just have to let it dry. Just put some alcohol inks. You don't want to put too much because you don't want them to get too thick. And I'm going to show you in just one second what I mean by that, because they get really dark if you put too much of them. Alright, so you can just play around with it and create some cool designs. And the dark that I was talking about is right here. You see, when all those colors come together, you want to avoid that. I certainly have put way too many colors here. You don't want to do that. So I'll show you the sheet but you can play around with it, blow on it, and then you will dry it and you can use for the balloons. Now the one that I have used right here, that I have made right here, is already nice and dry and pretty, and for all of us to use. And I can start punching my balloons out, and for that I'm using a punch. And you can use a die cut if you want, if you have it, but it's kind of, some of them, they're not gonna be completely covered in color, but it doesn't matter. I just go ahead and just punch them anyways. And this one, I'm not gonna get the whole thing out. So you can get a bunch of balloons and we can start decorating. Now I did try to create the balloons from acetane, so you can see that that it's nice and glossy and gorgeous, but it was very difficult to do it with my punch. So I don't recommend doing it with the punch. Maybe the die cut will work better. But at this point, my friends, the only thing that we have left is attaching the balloons, and that is it. And you're going to have this magnificent card that when people will open it, they will be amazed that you actually did it yourself. Isn't that fun? I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, my friends. Ta-ta!